Welcome to the Skylander sports scene right here on 97.5, your cruising oldies station. I'm John Kuntz, Athletic Director at Sussex County Community College. And today my guest is head soccer coach Frank Vernacchio. Frank, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, John. Thanks for having me here today, and appreciate the time I'm going to be spending with you.
Sure, my pleasure. Let's start with this. I know that you were a former player here at Sussex. You went on to play at a four-year school. You've coached for a number of years here at Sussex. Tell me a little bit about that experience, going back to your playing days here at Sussex and your coaching.
Yeah, so started here in 2005, coming here to play soccer. Got recruited here to play, and playing with guys from all over the state as well as all over the world. So it gave me a nice view of what college soccer would be like. So that's what made it kind of special. To be able to come to a community college and play with people from vast backgrounds and different, abilities. And having the success that we did those 2 years, winning the regional championship in 2006 and playing at an extremely high level, which made it even more special now to come back and kind of create that same atmosphere for the players today.
Do you think that being an athlete at the college level, whether it be the 2-year college or the 4-year college, does it also help you as a student? Does it help a lot of the kids as a student to budget their time, to do well academically?
Sure. I think there's, definitely from a standard of managing your time and making sure that, you're doing the right things throughout the day, getting your class and schoolwork done, as well as staying on top of your soccer abilities, right? So studying that as well. So yeah, it helps manage your time, and it helps in the future of you hopefully moving on and playing and budgeting your financials that way as well.
Talk a little bit about your coaching here. You've coached for how many years now at Sussex?
It's been 9 altogether, so this will be my 9th year. 2 as an assistant, and this was my 7th year as a head.
And a couple of years ago, we went to a different format for coaching our men's and women's soccer team. You have become kind of like the director of soccer and the head coach of both of those teams. I guess the first question is, why? Why did you think that would work, and how has it worked to this point?
I think there's been, it's been a lot of fun coaching the men's team and seeing the direction that, myself and the coaching staff has been able to take players from the area as well as from outside the area, mold them together and create something special here at Sussex. We really felt that we could do it on both sides and expand on the women's side as well. So without my, coaching staff, it wouldn't be possible. I work with great people that are passionate about the sport, passionate about the college, and making sure that, it succeeds on the soccer field and really making a name for Sussex. And that's, our ultimate goal. We don't want to just be known from around the area, but outside the area. And I think we're making tremendous strides in that regard. Seeing teams that, now that we're playing that are at the national tournament, and now for us, that's our goal, is to get there. The respect that we've earned on both the men's and women's side has been great. Our players are being recognized now by 4-year schools and colleges coming after our players to, because they know that they're being trained and being prepared for the next level. So that's, something special, but it's a credit to the coaching staff here, who I coach with, my colleagues, and also the players. Without them and buying into what we're doing and taking it one step further really means a lot to us and is why we're able to have success here.
Let's talk a little bit about your assistant coaches that you mentioned, how integral they are to the success of the program and the format that we're now using, as you being the director of soccer here at the college and being the head coach of both the men's and women's teams. But tell us a little bit about the assistant coaches you have on your staff.
Sure. Well, my first assistant coach, works mostly on the men's side, Augie Cassis. We play together here, so being able to bring him aboard and knowing what it means to play here, as well as being a really good friend of mine as well, has made the transition to coach together very easy. He does a tremendous job of helping recruit. He knows, as being a player here, what it takes to get kids here, and also gives a different aspect to the game to our players. He's a more attack-minded player, so he gives that aspect to our attacking players as well. So it's been great to have him be able to help recruit and bring a different light to the players. I also coach with Mike Rath, and he's been another tremendous asset to our team. He's built, has helped really build the women's side with me and make tremendous strides from year to year in that program. It's been great to see him be able to, coach and share a passion of what he really likes to do as well, and seeing that really flourish on the field, with the practice sessions that we put the kids through and the preparation. And he really doesn't leave anything, no stone unturned. If we're going to do something, we do it right, and Mike's a big testament to that. This year as well has been nice to have a player as a coach, a former player of mine, Kevin Nissel. He's been a great asset to our program as well this year, being able to connect to the players, kind of like when I first started coaching, being almost closer in age with them. So now having that aspect to it as well has been really nice. He's a player also who's from the area. So he was a great player in the area, so he's well known. And now seeing a different side of him in coaching, and seeing his growth as a coach has been really nice. He's also looking to come back next year, which is awesome, and being able to hopefully keep most of this coaching staff intact is really key. And something obviously we all have in common is the passion. We don't just see Sussex soccer as Sussex soccer. We see it on a much, much bigger scale, and that I believe really allows the players that we get to see themselves on a bigger scale and want more for their lives and more for this county, and really bring recognition to it.
Yeah, I think that's a very real good point about the continuity of your coaching staff. I look at it from the athletic director's chair with the head coaches, and trying to keep that continuity from one year to the next, instead of constantly changing head coaches and new ideas coming in. And I think it's kind of a negative thing towards the program. But having that continuity can certainly help in the long run and help to build something. You're listening to the Skylander Sports Scene right here on 97.5 WRSK. I'm John Kuntz, your host, athletic director at Sussex County Community College, talking with my guest today, Frank Vernacchio, our head men's and women's soccer coach. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the recent season, the 2017 season, and some of the ups and downs and some of the success that both the men's team and the women's team had, and there was success. We may not have gotten to the ultimate goal, but I think there was a lot of good things that happened. So give me a little review of the men's and women's soccer team this past season.
Yeah, sure. So coming into this year, we had on both the men's and women's side, we had a ultimate goal of really winning the region and really advancing to the national tournament. We really felt with the players we had coming back and the players we brought in that we'd make a good push at this. So on the women's side this year, we believe we took a major leap in the right direction. We brought in some key players from from the area, as well as from Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, who really added to our team in this program. I think the biggest difference on the women's side from last year to this year is now we knew what we were really getting ourselves into with how well the district tournament and the region is, how good these teams are in order for us to have to, prepare, what kind of preparations are we going to need to make, and what type of level player are we looking for, and, how much, all these things taken into account to see what needed to be done in order for us to be successful. So that was great to see. It was great to see from the preparation standpoint of all of our players getting into this second year, and not just doing well as a team, but really actually competing now. We lost to the team that finished third in the nation, so that was a tremendous leap. And not just playing with them, but actually competing with them, I think is great. Looking at a lot of players, at this level that are Division I players. We're playing against nationally ranked teams with players on their team that are looking to go to UConn and Duke and UCLA and University of Florida. So it's not like you're not playing against very talented people. So it's great to see our players be able to do that. And what's really nice too is we really made some great strides in the area with recruiting players and getting more out of them than I believe they got out of themselves in high school. Seeing girls that we've recruited from Opacon, Sussex Tech, and other Kittatinny and other schools around the area, and seeing their capabilities, putting a little bit more trust and asking them to do a little bit more than maybe they've been asked to in the past, and seeing them really rise to that occasion and succeed at it without them, and how they've been able to adapt to this level and excel at it has really been the turning point in our season, and definitely be the turning point next year on the women's side. On the men's side, we're returning a great group of young men, and I think probably the most talent I've seen here at Sussex. And the season really showed that. We went down and played a couple of hard games, and Maryland came out with a loss and a win. Going into the regular season 1-1, and really throughout the year, seeing the capabilities of these players and watching them. For me as a coach, I was able to really sit back and enjoy the game more. I think that was, nice. They really didn't have to manage a lot of little things. It was more, or a lot of big things, I should say, sorry. There's a lot of little details that we just kind of fixed and adjusted to. And it's great because when you have players that aren't just good, but really understand the game, it makes it for an even better experience as a coach. You're correcting smaller details and watching them adjust in the game, and watching the game from a different standpoint, which was nice this year on the men's side. The team that we lost to in the semifinals, is fifth in the nation now. So I think we're right there, and obviously on both teams, it's not just a result that we're looking for, but the process in which the girls and the guys are going about it. We're seeing tremendous growth on both in both programs, and yes, we haven't achieved that championship yet, but the strides that we're making in that regard, and watching our players grow and develop, and seeing universities and different colleges that really want our players has really been a testament to where both these programs have really have gone to now. So I was excited about, these past 2 years and seeing a tremendous growth, and seeing how, on the women's side, just 2 years, seeing a major jump and competing with these teams nationally. And on the men's side, seeing the bar just keep kind of be set higher and higher. It's been really great.
Who are some of the individual players? Let's start with the women's side. On your women's team this past season that stood out for you.
Yeah, so we had a couple of our sophomores and captains who really took the charge in taking this team to the next level. One of them in particular, Gabby Sarney from Kittatinny High School. She did a tremendous job this year. Last year she was a great goal scorer, and we played teams that were normally on the schedule, and this year we really stepped up who we played, and so played against more nationally ranked teams, and I was interested to see how she would adjust to the level of competition, and she excelled tremendously at it, which really goes to show what she'll be able to do in the future, and she has a bright future. Also another player, one of our other captains, Eden Brown from England. She did a tremendous job this year as our center back. Can't words can't describe how much she really meant to the team. She did a lot of the dirty work in the back, making sure we stayed organized, making sure that our team stayed disciplined. So she did a really tremendous job. She really stuck out. And lastly, one of our other players, Brittany Todd, another local player from Walk Hill High School. I was fortunate enough to coach Brittany when she was younger, and seeing, how she's really developed throughout the years has been great. She was one of our center mids, somebody we could rely on every day, and not have to worry about ever having to take her out. She was really rock solid in the middle. So we're definitely going to miss those three for next year. But their leadership and some of their qualities that they've really rubbed off on the freshmen, players that we're already seeing in this offseason really take a stride with preparing next year's team. One of our players from New Zealand, Maddie Allington, she was one of our center mids, and I think Brittany Todd had a great relationship with, and really kind of mentored her throughout the season of what to expect, how to handle certain situations, and now seeing Maddie really take that in this off season now and getting the girls organized and not really skipping a beat, really says a lot about Brittany, and Maddie as well. And that also rubbed off on a couple other girls that I see through the offseason really taking that stride. Breland Crisano from Hopakon. She's, going through all the injuries that she's been through, and seeing her tenacity and heart and passion. I think she's a soccer player, and she lives and bleeds this sport. So it's great to see that she's not just passionate about soccer, but passionate about playing soccer at Sussex. And I think her and Maddie and a couple of the other ones have really taken the reins now and making it their own team for next year. So that's been exciting.
And on the men's side, I know there were a lot of great individual talent there that you kind of blended together during the course of the season. I mean, they had a great record, 13-5, 9-game win streak during the course of the year. What about some of the individuals there that stood out for us?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of individuals on the men's side that really stood out this year. One of the players we're definitely going to miss is, Tom Perry. He's one of our captains this year. He's from England. The transition that he had to make from playing over there to here has been great, and taking a leadership role this past season has been a nice other aspect of his playing abilities that I watched this year really develop. He broke the all-time school record and season goals, All-American. Players like Tom don't come around often, and so when you have them, the impact that they have on a team long term, is really what we were, excited about seeing this year, and we're excited about seeing next year. Seeing how his influence has maybe changed some of the freshmen's view of how to prepare for games, how to prepare for a season. So Tom will be very much missed, but also excited about seeing where Tom's going to go after here, and talking to the schools and colleges that, we're working with Tom, hopefully going to. Another player we'll miss, probably one of the top players to ever come through Sussex is Mario Imanzor. Division I player, no doubt. He should find himself at a great Division I school. Hopefully, we're working on that right now and seeing his options. And he's definitely wanted. He's wanted by a couple schools, which we're excited working with him throughout the off season to help make that dream become a reality. Just a player that really kept calm, knew very intelligent player, and really as long as he was in there, you felt our structure and our shape and was going to stay good. There was no worries from our standpoint, and seeing his game intelligence really rub off on the other players and their preparation for games was nice as well to see. Those two players really took from year one to year two big strides and being a big part of our season this year. Other players that really stepped up and we're excited about, one of those players, another captain, Ben Armstrong from High Point. He played center mid for us last year, and we asked him to kind of play left back this year and using him in a different way. Getting him, forward into the attacking play a little bit more. The year before, as a center mid, he really stayed back, and we felt like his strengths would better suit us and him on the outside. He's a hard player to beat, and he's a great player that likes to get forward. So using him in that aspect this year has been nice. A lot of the players this year, I could probably go on and talk about each and every one of them and how important they are to Sussex and to our team this past season. But if you got a chance to watch, any of the games this year, you definitely, have a different feel of what college soccer is like, especially here at Sussex.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I watched a number of games during the course of the season, and I enjoyed watching both your men's and women's teams. They always played hard. Great bunch of kids that all came together. I find it interesting how the international kids that you've recruited kind of just blend in with the local kids. How is that? What's been your observation of that over the last few years? I think in the end, kids are kids.
Yeah,
but
of course.
You're getting them from England and Venezuela and Colombia and then Newton and High Point and a pack-on. Well, give me some of your observations about that.
It's been great. I think what's nice about it is they're learning from each other. It's not that just because we get international players, they're totally better than these kids from Sussex County. It's a great learning experience for both. You're seeing the passion that our players have from the area rub off on players from, like you said, England, New Zealand, South America, and now all fighting and wanting to succeed for this county. I think it's very unique. And now as the future, goes, coaching here for the last, 9 years, you get players coming back. So before our players move on to their colleges where they are now, they come and they're at preseason, players that are from the area and not from the area. And so it's having both that really has enhanced our program to another level. It's made it so that now our players have, now they're going on vacation to England and South America. And so the players from the area have been great in, accepting them and bringing them into, our county as well as, our team. So it's been nice. And I get myself out in the community and seeing, or hearing, I should say, from local businesses how well, our players have, been for them, how good that they're good kids, and so it's been great all around.
Yeah, it is kind of unique to see this in Sussex County and having these international soccer players and students from Sussex County Community College in and around the community and on our campus, and most of them are extremely good students as well. Let's talk a little bit about some of the top players that you've coached over the years. You've been here for 9 years. You played a little bit. Are there a few that stand out in your mind that you've seen that were Sussex County Community College soccer players?
Yeah, there's definitely a few. Us, the coaching staff, and I, we always joke about what if we were a 4-year, university or college. Imagine the types of teams we would have, and that's for sure. Because only having some of these kids for 2 years, you're thankful for it, but yet you really miss them, because seeing the development from year to year, and then seeing where how well they succeed at the next level, some players that you wish you'd have for 4 years. A couple of those players, definitely Travis Eustace, who Vernon went to Vernon High School, played there, holds the all-time scoring record here at the school. All-American. He was one of our captains when he played here. He came back and coached, so he was a big part, one of my first recruits. He was a big part in starting this, new era of Sussex soccer with me. So he's definitely somebody that, made a huge impact on our program here, and, continues to do so in the future. Another player, Jamie Letty from Australia. He now plays at FDU, Division I school. Center back, just a tremendous player. I mean, when every single game, there wasn't a coach that, wouldn't come up to me and say, Jamie's a great player, and I'd love to have him on our team. He was just one of those players, unique, has a special talent. Doesn't seem like he does much wrong, makes players around him better. He's got a very exciting future, and we're excited to hear, his plans after FDU and seeing what, professional level he might be playing at. So we're excited about that. Kevin Nissel, another one who coaches with us now. He didn't get recognized a lot, but he was very much like Mario is for us. He keeps the rhythm of the game going. He's very intelligent as a player. He's a team first type of a person. So he really did a great job here, as well as, enhance the program. And I think that's really what stands out about most of these players, is that they weren't just good, but they really enhanced the program. They made their mark on our program, which is why each year these players go through. It's nice to see what they leave the next, generation of players that come through here, the next team, so those players really stick out. On the women's side, only being here for 2 years, but like I said, Gabby Eden-Totter, Jill Polis from Vernon, she was a tremendous player for us as well. These players are the reason why, Sussex soccer is changing, and I think they took ownership of that, and also, continue to take ownership of that. They're still involved with our program here and there, and they're out in the community representing us in the right way.
What happens in the off season now? Your season just wrapped up, a few weeks ago, and you have the winter months to deal with and the spring months. And what do you have the players do? What are they concentrating on to prepare for the upcoming season in 2018?
Yeah, so we have a great workout program throughout the off season. Our players are working out now, getting in the gym, doing agility sessions, getting involved in indoor. So those are like the major things that we're doing as a program. We're also obviously recruiting now, right? So that's like the biggest part of the year from here until hopefully, the new year, if we can lock up as, many of the right players that we want to come to our program from here until, the new year is our goal. Obviously that expands into, February and March and April, but, we're really hitting the ground running here with talking to players as their season ends, getting there before other coaches get to them, and, have the opportunity to talk about our program and where it's been going, and, getting them up here, having them visit. And that's what's been nice about having a good core from the area as well as outside the area. I think we bring, like you said, a uniqueness to our program here in our college that a lot of schools don't have, and makes us, more attractive to players from within the area. So that's what we're doing right now, and getting ready to hit the ground running next year.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I know there's some outstanding talent coming back next year, and I think you're going to have another great season, Frank. I want to thank you for stopping by today and being a guest on the Skylander sports scene. Frank Vernacchio, the head coach of the men's and women's soccer program at Sussex County Community College. So thanks for being a part of it.
Thank you, John. Thanks. Thank you, John. Thanks. Thank you, John. Thanks. Thank you, John. Thanks.